Well, hold on a bit because I'm about to challenge your personal perception of reality. And maybe it's not a challenge because you're already there and you know it, but it might be really useful if you practice an experience of an open mind with the purpose of wanting to grow and experience and feel more. Because if you're following along with this, you've got a general idea that what we're working on is how to appreciate and accumulate, the beauty of life. So in this situation, I'm challenging you a bit because I can't say anything I'm about to say to you is right. I can only give you some experiences or opinions. So the degree of openness is equivalent to an experience of humility. Now, there are several important definitions of humility. One of them is a sincere desire to feel every feeling inside my own soul. That's one definition. It's not out of Webster, by the way, but that's the one I like to operate from. But there's also another element to it, is how to experience something that's really different than what you already hold to be true. It's really easy to have humility about something if you agree with the person. But if you don't agree, how do you practice humility? The openness of heart or mind that would, for a moment, at least consider the possibility that what's being presented is true. And if it were true, what would be the repercussions of the thing that you are now experiencing that's different than a belief system? Whew. Okay, see, I've already challenged you as it is. I'm about to ask you to consider something that I'm sure that many of you already hold to be true. Somehow the universe is perfect. Yeah, okay, the universe is perfect. Now, I'm also saying that on a physical dimension, time has an innate perfection. And I'll say that mathematically because 10 million years in the future or more, the exact mathematical position of the sun and the moon to produce a full solar eclipse is already known scientifically, because it can be calculated based on the angle, the time, the tilt. We are immersed in and embodied within laws that are perfect, that are capable of perfectly reflecting back to us the opportunity to do something, well, better. I wouldn't claim perfection, but at least better, right? So the one I'm asking you to consider is that this is in the Northern Hemisphere, what's called the 3-boy month. All that really means it's related to your mother's father, and an attribute that associates with the solar plexus on the left side. Okay, three-boy month is the middle month of winter. The first month of winter, on this ascending day length that goes up to the solstice, the summer solstice, and back down again to the equinox in the autumn, and back down again to the winter solstice, is a cycle of continuation that flows perfectly from one month to the next. I'm saying that the rotation of the sun and the earth and all of the solar systems and the galaxies has a perfection. I'm also suggesting that we can appreciate that perfection with just a gratitude. Wow, isn't that cool? Time, day length, season, wow, they're pretty perfect. I'm also suggesting that this 3-boy month, to help you get a feeling for it, it also corresponds to a specific 2-hour time period. That 2-hour time period of the 3-boy, if you will, yellowish green angle here, is at 2 a.m. to 4 a.m. in the morning, obviously. Now, I don't know if you've experienced it or not, which I'm sure you have, by the way. If you made it here, you may find yourself waking up between 2 and 4 in the morning. Maybe that's your favorite time to go pee or turn over or whatever. I don't know, but that time period between 2 and 4 mirrors the 3-boy month, the 3-boy hour, and the 3-boy month. So if you want to understand the 3-boy month, go to the 3-boy hour and your own experience of it. It is the time for awakening. It is a fresh awakening. You're kind of prodded at some level to wake up, and you're there, and you may be slightly annoyed that you can't sleep, and you go, I really want to get my sleep. I have to work tomorrow. But there you are, oftentimes between 2 and 4 awake. And some of you might make it, 1 to 4 awake, or midnight if you're really in need of a change. It is the capacity to change, because what happens at 4 a.m., where this dark blue is a completely different experience, because it is the singularity of your existence that gives you the capacity to create, make decisions, be authentic. That's the 2 hours just before where you see the red is sunrise. So yes, this is a flowing continuum of midnight, 2 to 4, 4 to 6, sunrise. So I'm saying sunrise also corresponds to spring equinox. So these patterns, they are linked and they are continuous, but they're also individual and discretionary. I'm saying discretionary is because you have a choice to appreciate the unbounded perfection and utilize that timing of the hour and that timing of the month and even that timing of the stage of life you're on, lining them all up and then using that feeling. What's the feeling there? Awakening. What is awakening? A watchfulness, a freshness, an examination, curiosity, an experimentation, an understanding, a serendipity, a discovery, knowledge, intellect, awareness, and a whole series of words. Awareness, wow, that's kind of important. To increase the capacity for concentration of awareness. So if you're waking up at 2 to 4 in the morning, it's to help you concentrate your awareness, to awaken to your individuality that's about to arrive. Now, it's pretty well known that some of the most successful people in the world like to get up at 4 a.m. in the morning and use that special time for their personal life, to be able to have a private time to themselves, to be able to think, create business, be articulate in some way, to design, to understand. This is the time period between 2 a.m. and 6 a.m. This is a time of personal individuality that comes through a gradually awakening experience of the truth. Because that's kind of what's arriving at the 3-boy hour for a baby. That's called curiosity. For a young person, that's serendipity, discovery, or realization, or attainment. Whatever you want to call that illumination of the understanding or the access to enlightenment happens right in that time period. So if you're in the winter in the Northern Hemisphere, you notice it's grayer, quieter, cooler. This is the coolest time of the day. It's cool. It's more inward. It's personal. And it is also ascending in day length until the summer solstice. So this is the ascending life force. Now I'm just put a word in there, life force, if that's a one word or two. This is an awareness of life force ascending. You might also consider that that ascending is happening on your toes. Yeah, toes. That the acupuncture points on all 5 toes, 2 acupuncture points, same as the fingers, 2 of them per nail on the opposite side of each other where the cuticle and the nail meet on a perpendicular axis, 2 per, and then 2 at the wrist or 2 on the ankles. And you have these ascending forces coming in your feet. Life force. To be aware of it increases it. To be aware of it and the capacity to be able to consider the perfection that you're walking upon perfection. You're seeing, feeling, recognizing perfection. I'm not saying that we are perfect in our current condition, but rather we are immersed in the opportunity to use our free will to move toward an ever increasing and perhaps forever continuing increase of consciousness, awakefulness, understanding, knowledge, and maybe even the eternal love of truth from a divine perspective. There's all kinds of things to consider about what that light green sword of truth is and why it's in this picture linked to the area of the heart. Ascending, descending. At midday, the one girl patterns go down, all the way, come back up. There is a cycle in the movements of this. There are cycles like this in your breath and so on and so on. But I just wanted to challenge your wonderfully open mind about the world of perfection and how that perfection is displayed in time, month, hour, and eventually the location that we haven't spoken a great deal of, which to me not only happens to be the heart, but the actual halfway point between the top of the heart and the bottom. Occasionally I like the bottom for some reasons, occasionally I like the top, but there's a place right there that we'll talk about at another time. So take this consideration and enjoy, at the time of this recording anyway, it was the first week of the 3-boy month. 4 weeks, each having distinct qualities. If you're aware of those distinct qualities, it increases the likelihood you can feel, understand, illuminate, and assimilate You can metabolize, which is a function of that light green pancreatic world. You can metabolize and experience the increase of energy that comes from the assimilation of the life force that comes in that green. Wow, you're right. That's a mouthful. Good luck with all of that. I'll be back soon. See ya.